My name is Erin LaFromboise. I'm the Director of Library Services at Medicine Spring Library at Blackfeet Community College on the Blackfeet Indian Reservation in Montana. I had the great pleasure of joining the Honoring Alaska Heritage program in 2018 in Fairbanks. And so hopefully some of you recognize me. I've made some great friends in Alaska from that conference. So I'm going to be talking to you today about the benefits of joining the American Indian Library Association. I'm currently also the president of the American Indian Library Association. Next year, I'll be immediate past president, and I don't necessarily see myself going away from being active in the association anytime soon. It's one of the best spots of my career, and I really enjoy it. It's something I've been able to participate in from all levels while I was a library technician, after I became a library director, and beyond. We have many retired members who also stay involved after they retire. So going over American Indian Library Association, or AILA, as I'll call it, is a separate library association from anything else. So sometimes people think you have to join the American Library Association, AILA, to be a part of AILA, but you don't. And that's really great because sometimes AILA is a little big if you are not necessarily in the library association realm where you're doing a lot of speaking or volunteering. You want to do something that's a little more specific to your community, to, other indigenous people in the United States and Canada. AILA is a really great fit for you. One thing that we often get asked is, do I have to be indigenous to be a part of AILA? And you don't. We definitely have people who work in tribal libraries who are non-indigenous. We have a lot of people who want to be allies and want to assist with bringing funding and notice and, letting other people know about the triumphs and the trials of working in a tribal library. Many of you probably already work in a very small tribal library. You may have the great pleasure of working in a bigger tribal library, or like me, working in an academic and community library. My library also has an archives, so it's really great. AILA has the ability to nurture people in all walks of life as far as tribal librarianship goes. This is our website, so AILA.net, or AILA.net, sorry, AILAnet.org. And it has pretty much everything you need. How to join. I also tell people joining is super cheap. If you join AILA, it might be a couple $100. This is $20 a year. Perhaps if we are offering additional services in the future, we may bring our price up for membership, but it really won't be by much. $20 a year to become a member of AILA is very affordable for people who may not have employers who are willing to pay for memberships. On this front page, we try to help people who work specifically in tribal libraries. And then people have questions a lot about, they want to serve the Native populations in their public schools and their colleges and the academic programs, and then in the public libraries in general. So we do have some resources for people. AILA can be, people on the outside often really want to get free labor from AILA members. Can somebody do the research for me? And so this is a great resource for you, even if you don't join AILA, to say there are some resources here at the American Indian Library Association website. These are some of our current board members, and we definitely need to update our website. George is two past presidents ago. Cindy is our immediate past president. I'm the current president. Rhiannon Sorrell is our secretary. Leanna Giuliano is our treasurer. And Carla is one of our members at large. We normally have a vice president, president, immediate past president, secretary, treasurer, 3 members at large, a newspaper editor, and our executive director make up the executive board. So in case you were wondering, every year we have at least 2 to 3 positions open, and we're always looking for people willing to learn more and support the organization. So even if you are brand new, but you want to help out, that's one of the ways that would really kind of get you in the know, and you would be able to meet other people that way. Some of the things going on, we do member initiatives. So before I became vice president, I had the idea to do Read Native in 2021. And that was a reading challenge to read different genres of Native American authored books. And it was really popular. I definitely think people should continue to read Native. It's something that I personally don't have the capacity to keep running. But as a member initiative, if there are other members who are willing to put in the work, then we're willing to go forward. Or if you see something brand new that you'd like to start, we're really open to all of that. Some of the things about AILA you can find here in the About. One of the big benefits is if you need some professional development, not in the sense of learning, but in the sense of networking and meeting new people, I greatly suggest that you use the opportunities to join a committee. Everything in AILA, from our executive board on down, everything is volunteer, unfortunately. So sometimes as a volunteer organization, we're all really busy doing our own jobs and with our own lives, that AILA sometimes comes last. And so it may feel like the wheels are turning very slowly, but there's a reason for that. And so if you're busy, but you want to volunteer in one of these capacities, we definitely understand that, just having someone there as a contact sometimes is all we need to keep going. So we do have several committees that need members. If you want to read books, then you can join the American Indian Youth Literature Awards. And they meet for 1 year every 2 years. They also put on a celebration at the American Library Association conference in the year opposite that the award is given. So we just gave out awards this year. We had 126 submissions, which is really amazing and kind of unheard of for the past. The fact that we have so many Native American authors on the scene right now is really great. So if that's something you're interested in, the Talk Story Grant is a grant. So these are things that you can use both either as a member or as a non-member. The Talk Story Grant is a small grant to bring in stories. When we got it for our library, we purchased some materials and then did oral stories with elders. You can do an activity. You just fill out a small grant application, and the Talk Story grants are actually currently open. So if that's something you're interested in, they're usually due by March. We have travel grants to get to conferences. We have webinars. We have membership meetings, so you can just meet the other members of AILA and get to know people. You can talk about some of the neat things you're doing in your library. We've definitely talked about some of the challenges that we've had as tribal librarians. And sometimes we just like to see each other and say hi. If you're interested in participating with a newsletter or you have news items, those are also things that we are actively collecting. We don't do a lot of specific fundraising, but we're always open to ideas. So if that's your niche and you want to be a part of that, we would really be happy to have you on board. I like to go through some of the committees just because a lot of people want to help, but they don't really know what's available. And one of the biggest benefits of volunteering on a committee is it looks great on your resume. If you haven't gone to school yet and that's something that you would like, graduate schools really enjoy having resumes with volunteer activities. And most of these volunteer activities take very little time throughout the year. I'm going to show you the American Indian Youth Literature Award page because this is something that's extremely beneficial if you're trying to renew your collection development. What new books should we be buying? What should I suggest when someone asks for a suggestion about Native American literature? And you can see that we can go to the past awards. You can either click on them or to learn more about, just click on each of these. And I've definitely used this as a collection development tool in my own library on new kids books to add to our kids selection. I think one of the best benefits is just getting to know one another. AILA is a really small but tight-knit group. We are a part of a larger collective called JCLC, which is a Joint Conference of Librarians of Color. And every 4 years, we put on a conference that's separate from AILA or any of the AILA affiliated organizations. And this year, JCLC will be happening in October in St. Petersburg, Florida. And then in 4 years, it will be in another place. We're always looking for volunteers to help with the JCLC committee. And there are a lot of opportunities to network and to grow your network beyond tribal libraries, which can be very helpful. So this is just a short overview of the benefits of joining the American Indian Library Association. If you have any questions, feel free to contact me. My contact is on the front page if you click on my picture. I'm willing to talk about anything, even if it isn't involved with AILA. If you are having questions about your library, policies and procedures, anything in general, I'm always willing to help as I have the time to do that. So thank you very much. And I hope to see you at the next AILA membership meeting. Thank you.
Hello, welcome. My name is Erin Hollingsworth, and I am a librarian in Utqiagvik, Alaska. I currently work for the North Slope Borough School District as the district librarian. Prior to that, I worked at Tuzi Consortium Library in Lusavik College as the public services librarian. I'm here today to talk to you about the American Indian Library Association Youth Award. I was incredibly fortunate to have a term, actually 2 terms, as a jury member for the award. So being invited to share on this video is something I was more than eager to do. It is an exciting, it's exciting to be able to promote the Native children's literature. The American Indian Library Association offers awards for books authored and illustrated by members of the indigenous communities. The categories that are, there's a picture book, a middle grades award, and then a high school award. So they're the 3 awards, and then there are honor books that are also issued by the organization. We in this last round issued quite a few honor books because there were some pretty amazing submissions turned into the committee. Within those submissions, there are Alaskan titles, which is something that warms my heart and is incredibly exciting to see as an Alaskan who gets to sit on the award jury. One of the previous books, Salmon Boy, was illustrated by Michaela Goad, who has since received national acclaim for her illustrations in the Water Protectors book. And she has credited her recognition from the American Indian Library Association as kind of launching her career with some more of the larger publishing houses. And I think that's delightful and wonderful, and is something that I kept in mind while we were looking at different books, of like viewing this as an opportunity to kind of help further the career efforts of Native creatives who are working to have their writing, their illustrations, their products put out there to get their messaging out to a wider audience. There are also other Alaskan titles. I'd like to encourage more Alaskans to write and print and get their works out there. The award is given every 2 years. Ideally, we'd like to move to where we were doing the award every year. However, an unfortunate reality is there is not a wealth of material published by Native authors enough to support a competitive round of reviewing in a single publishing year. However, if this year is any indicator, we may need to revisit that. There were a significant amount of books to read. I joined the award committee for the 2018 to 2020 cycle, and then was on for the 2020 to 2022 cycle. And the second term had significantly more books than the first term. It was a much welcome problem to have to navigate. Like there were many beautiful books submitted, and it was a lot of reading. But it was kind of a joyful problem to have. I welcome it, and I look forward to a future when the American Indian Library Association can offer an award every year, because there's so much wonderful content being created and published. I think that would be a wonderful problem to have. I would embrace it. The awards are announced every other year, and they're announced along with the American Library Association's Youth Awards. That was something that was recently added in 2020, incorporating the American Indian Library Association Awards into the larger platform of the American Library Association has really lent some visibility to the awards, and it has made a significantly larger audience aware of the work being done by the American Indian Library Association. It has also worked to help promote content that's been vetted by the American Indian Library Association, especially with regards to works of literature intended for children and young adults. Kind of having that acknowledgement that a group of librarians working in these fields, representing these cultures, have looked over this material and deemed it of the highest quality, of the highest caliber, and something we want to actively put into the hands of children. I'm really excited about that, and I think that's probably one of my favorite aspects of the committee. The books that we review are submitted by publishers or in some instances authors. This year's winning picture book, Horizon, is actually, I have it here. Let's see if I can get it on the camera. It's actually a self-published book, and the author submitted it to the committee himself. And see if I can sneak it. It is a picture book without words, and it is absolutely stunning and beautiful. And I think even with its Southwestern emphasis, it's still something that will resonate with many of our audiences. And it is a book with a story that can be told in any language, which is also another wonderful benefit, in my opinion. But the illustrator, the author, submitted them to the committee for our consideration. For books to be considered, they do need to have an author, illustrator that are recognized by their native nation. And with that, they are sent into the committee, and we read and get together and have discussion. And a lot of times it's a great space to sit and listen. I was appointed to the committee, like I shared, in 2018. The committee is made up by presidential appointees. So the American Indian Library Association forms the committee. And like most groups, it's a volunteer group. And the president reaches out and asks, if you'd be interested in serving with us. And of course I said yes, because I do have a passion for children's literature. However, as a non-native member of the committee, I'm limited to 2 terms, and I just completed my 2nd term. So I get to sit back and be a spectator with the awards as they move forward. Maybe help suggest books. If I see any amazing works, like make sure I reach out to the AILA board and the chair of the awards committee to submit and send in titles and authors and illustrators to watch. With that, I guess the best way to move forward is to let you know how to do that. So the American Indian Library Association has a webpage, AILAnet.org. So ailanet.org is their webpage, and on there you can find the board, but you can also find a list of the awards going all the way back. I believe it's 2006. So the awards, the history of the awards going back, the winners, the honor books. There's some great material there. I suggest looking over for addition to your libraries. They're beautiful books, and they're great with regards to story and representation. I'm a huge advocate of the work of Dr. Bishop, looking at mirrors, windows, and sliding glass doors, and how literature, especially for children, should reflect their lived experiences. It should provide a window into other experiences, and then a sliding glass door, an opportunity to really go and experience other ways of being. I think every library would benefit by having the American Indian Library Association titles in their collection, because of the ability to represent stories that are maybe representative of some of the children who are checking the books out, but it might be a totally new learning opportunity for other students. They're just beautiful books. I'm very excited about them. All right, with that said, if there are more beautiful books that you know, I would strongly suggest you reach out to the AILA committee, encourage the different creators to also get their work submitted to the group for their consideration. The next awards will be in 2024, and I look forward to seeing what beautiful titles will be honored then. Thank you.